All right, so Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2 review. And yes, there will be spoilers. So, I think it dropped this past Friday. So if you haven't seen it yet, you need to see it. But if you want to avoid spoilers, don't watch this review. Bro, it was amazing. It was so awesome. I just can't believe it. Like, I was really surprised with how they escalated Stranger Things. And you can really see how, back when the first season first dropped, we heard the Duffer Brothers, the creators of the show, were they kind of mentioned how they had like this overarching story idea, and they wanted to do it over 4 or 5 seasons. And you're like, oh, okay. But once we've seen, like, I would say you can't really see it coming together with season 3, but at the end of this season, for sure, it's like, oh, all right, like this is good. This is what we want as fans of entertainment, sci-fi, whatever. And incidentally, this is exactly what they didn't do with the Star Wars sequel trilogy, right? Like there was no overarch, like there was no vision, there was nothing connecting it together. There was no reason for us to really watch it as far as a story was concerned. But Stranger Things has really brought the game. I think everyone knows it kind of lagged a little bit in season 3, but season 4 was amazing. So obviously we know this season's a bit darker than the previous seasons. The episodes are longer, which is great. And I gotta tell you, like, at first I didn't really know why they split the season up in 2 parts, but the final episode, really, it's like 2.5 hours long. It's crazy. It's like a movie. It's like a Stranger Things movie. And it's just 1 episode. It's crazy. And it's just amazing. I love what they did with 11, and, they retrained her, but the overarching story is really cool. The whole creation of the Upside Down is really interesting, and what's going on with 1/Henry/Vecna. It is really interesting. I loved what they did with the piggyback, where, like, one group goes after Vecna. It gets a little confusing. One group goes after Vecna, like, in the real world, while he's, like, I guess, a sort of like projecting his consciousness out there in like the other world/dream world. But I guess what's confusing is like there's the real world, the Upside Down, but then Vecna is like in people's heads, I guess, too. So there's like the dream world and the Upside Down and the regular world. So they kind of set Max up so that Vecna goes into her head to try to like take over her to create like another portal so he can start like infiltrating the real world for real and sort of, I guess, take over the world or whatever. And meanwhile, from a distance, 11 and her crew are actually like remote projecting into Max's head. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's really cool, honestly. Like, it's a cool idea. It's happening real fast, but it's like, wow, this is a cool, like, this is creative. I like this. So 11 is like inside Max's head with Vecna, and she's like fighting him. It's just crazy. And so Max is like, wait a minute, is this real? Whoa, like it's already trippy enough, you know what I mean? The Upside Down and what's happened in my head and everything. Like, I don't know where I am half the time, but she's like, yeah, it's real. Oh, before that, bro, the scene where 11 is like Papa is like escaping that like compound with 11 and he gets shot, and 11, like, dude, this was like an Akira, almost like a Darth Vader moment where this girl brings this helicopter down with her mental powers, bro. It was so cool. It was honestly one of the coolest things I've ever seen in TV or movies anywhere. It was awesome. Like, for me, 11 is now cemented as like a legendary character across the board. Movies, shows, whatever. That was some cool stuff, bro. And, I really liked how, I don't remember everybody's names, but the 2 scientists that were kind of like arguing over whether they should let 11 like leave and go help her friends or continue training her, they were saying, Papa was saying that she wasn't ready and she needed to be able to fly. What's interesting for me is I'm like, if she can bring down a helicopter like that and she's not even at her max potential yet, what does 11 flying even look like? Are we talking like Neo here from the Matrix? Like, is she going to be flying around in like Akira level, like full-blown Super Saiyan powers? Is that what's going to happen? Because it looks like that's where we're headed. So it was awesome. I really loved, I don't know, at the end of season 3, like when Hopper is taken by the Russians, I was just like, I don't know. It just all seemed a little bit corny, but they really made it work. I was really surprised. I loved what they did with him in Russia, and I loved his escape from Russia, and I loved how the characters all came back together in the end. They did a really great job. This had some real emotional moments. They nailed it. And of course, the music in this series is ballin'. Like, bro, like that scene where those three kids, there's so many different kids in this show now, it's hard to keep up with everyone's names, but it was like that scene in the real world with like Steve and Nancy, and I'm sorry, but I forget that one girl's name. Is it Rosie or something? Or Robin? Anyway, they're like lighting his ass up. And like, bro, it was so cool. It was just so cool. It was almost like, it kind of reminded me of like a Ghostbusters thing, but like even cooler than Ghostbusters. I mean, they were lighting his ass up with Molotov cocktails and like flamethrowers and stuff. It was crazy. The music they were playing was amazing. Like, it was just amazing. It was like an amazing scene, to the point where this really could have been in the movies. Like the special effects, the music, like, honestly, my experience with season 4 of Stranger Things is, not only did I love it, but it's better than most of the movie theater experiences that I've had within the last few years, to be honest with you. Like, this pops, right? Like, the last 2 episodes of season 4 really pops. And it's like, okay, like, nice. I'm so happy, because they kind of pushed it to that point where I kind of wish they'd go every season. They're all pretty good, but I can see now, because they had like an overarching story where it was going to really pop and go off the rails, like in season 4 and 5, I can see why the earlier seasons, they were good, but they were kind of like toned down a little, but it's ramping up. It's almost like kind of how Breaking Bad was, where it's like kind of slow in the beginning, and then it like starts popping off towards the end there and goes off the rails. So I'm loving it, man. This is one of the coolest shows of all time. Season 4 was amazing. The final 2 episodes are awesome. You got to check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's really worth a watch. The whole entirety of season 4, volume 1 and 2. And honestly, I can't wait to see what happens in season 5. But I'm wondering, like, at this point, like, I don't know if like Vecna is going to take over the world, or at least Hawkins, like, completely, so that season 5 is almost like maybe they're completely in the Upside Down the entire time, and they have to like defeat Vecna and get out of the Upside Down at the end of that season. I don't know, bro. Is he taking over their whole world? Is he gonna, is this gonna be like a Avengers Endgame level? Like, because I don't know, was it season 2 or season 3 where they had like 11, there were like other kids out there that had superpowers or whatever. I don't know what happened to those kids, but I don't know, maybe some of them might come back, I don't know. I don't have any idea, but it looks really interesting. They're saying it's supposed to take place in the 90s, but I gotta tell you, at the end of this season, I don't know how much, they're already got a new problem to deal with. Like, I don't know how they're gonna be waiting more time to, I don't know, because they've already got like a new problem, a big problem. So I can't wait to see what happens. I hope it's not another 3 years, although I think we just had to wait that long this time because of the whole pandemic. But on the other hand, if we had to, it's better quality, longer episodes. If we got to wait a little bit more for quality's sake, I think it's good. Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2. What did you think? Did you see it? Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and we can chat about it. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.